This might be one of the most humiliating things that has ever happened to me. Once I felt about 75% more myself, I bounded out of the apartment, yearning to be outside in the sunshine. Although I still had no voice and my energy level wasn't at full capacity, I felt like I had risen from the dead and was ready to be among the living, albeit from a distance. The 16th Arrondissement was beckoning to me with its vast, as yet unknown to me forest-like park, Bois de Boulogne. I first glimpsed a little Bois de Boulogne some days past when I stumbled upon the beautiful Jardin de cet Hôtel. Now I was ready to wander its grounds properly. The edges seemed to be acres of slender birch trees. I hadn't gone on a real hike in what felt like ages, not since I left California, where I spent so much of my free time outdoors. The bois, or forest, seemed like the place to be outside without being in a crowd. I didn't know it then, but my first introduction to Bois de Boulogne was through the 1958 movie musical, Gigi. The opening scenes were filmed in the wide, leafy, tree-lined avenues of this park, where Belle Epoque Parisians appeared to spend their afternoons. In the movie, school children played on the lawn, matriarchs sat in wooden chairs beneath the trees, and a city parade of open, horse-drawn carriages containing beautiful women would amble past. Through the course of the movie, the viewer comes to realize that these were courtesans, current or would-be mistresses of rich men displaying themselves to be admired by the general throng, and perhaps meet their next benefactor. This was an accurate depiction of that era, as during the time of the Second Empire, Parisians would descend upon Bois de Boulogne from 2 to 4 in the afternoon. Alfred Delvaux described the popular pastime in his 1867 Paris guidebook. Quote, "Going to the Bois is a tradition which one was careful not to miss, an excellent occasion to display one's horses or mistress when one is a man, or to exhibit her toilette and critique those of others when one is a woman. Thus, the Bois de Boulogne was a place to see and be seen. If a man, to exhibit your wealth, whether it be through the fine horse you own or the beautiful woman in your bed that is not your wife, and if a woman, to show off your beauty and attire. It was perhaps the equivalent of Instagram back in the day, an afternoon feed of social and economic status, as well as a marketplace of sorts. So I suppose it was fitting that the movie Gigi's opening and indeed closing scenes were filmed in this park. Symbolically anyway, for the movie follows the coming of age of a young girl who is groomed to be a highly sought-after courtesan. It's supposed to be a love story. However, once you look past the Hollywood veneer, it's a jaded look into the severe lack of choices open to women of that time. I must have been just a little homesick, for when I saw on one of the park maps that there was one lone giant sequoia tree, my heart quickened and I headed for its general direction. Where I live in Northern California, sequoias, coastal redwoods in particular, are plentiful. I did not have to search hard. It was the tallest living thing around. Apparently, this sequoia tree was planted in 1872. It was Napoleon III who conceived of turning this vast green space of Western Paris into a pleasure park with the help of architect Alphonse Alphand and, of course, Baron Haussmann. At 2,090 acres, it's twice as big as New York's Central Park and second only to the largest in Paris, Bois de Boulogne. Together, these two forest parks are the lungs of Paris for their bounty of trees. Not only are there troves of trees, but two man-made lakes, ponds, waterfalls, plenty of places to picnic, a zoo, even a large area for camping at the edge, and Parc de Bagatelle, one of Paris's 4 official botanical gardens. Before Napoleon III's grand designs, the Bois was the fertile hunting grounds for kings past. Perhaps, had I known the Bois de Boulogne's history as a pleasure park for the rich and their mistresses, as well as a green space where men do their hunting, I would not have been so surprised at what happened next. Hiking alone in nature is, well, second nature to me. So it was with great joy that I walked dirt paths through these beautiful woods, probably with a smile on my face. A pleasant-looking man in office clothes stopped me and asked questions in French. Parlez-vous anglais? I asked automatically, my voice just a shade above a whisper. Without skipping a beat, he asked if I was walking there. That seemed like an odd question, as it was obvious I was walking, but I assumed it was a French conversational quirk or oddity. Then he asked equally pleasantly, as if he was at the farmer's market inquiring about lettuce, "How much?" I was confused, or must have looked it. "Are you selling your body? How much?" he explained with a smile. Full realization dawned on me, and instead of yelling at him, I reeled away in shock, utterly horrified, and walked as fast as possible away from him. I looked down at my outfit. Black shorts, black crop top, and white sneakers, similar to what half the women were wearing in Paris that hot day. I could not shake off the humiliation and could not look anyone in the eye in case it was misinterpreted as a for sale sign. Back in California, I'm used to hiking by myself in the woods. But here, apparently, one is not considered a flaneur or a hiker, but a street walker, a lady of the night. Ew! Ew! And then on the way back in the late afternoon, I saw a beautiful woman standing by the edge of the path, near the road. She was dressed in a silky white dress, high heels, fully made up. Oh my Lord, I realized. I was in the track, what the cops at home call the local place where streetwalkers hawked their wares. I almost ran all the way home. Oh, the humiliation. Later that night, I tossed and turned in bed. I could not forget the afternoon's humiliating encounter. I looked up Bois de Boulogne on YouTube. What came up was one of the top hits, but a video expose on the prostitution problem of the park. Apparently, the police do regular stings there. The ladies of the night erect little makeshift tents around trees to conduct business with Johns. It was eye-opening. Everything, including tarps, fit into little bags they carried around with them. And then I started wondering, for the question remained unanswered, how much do they sell their bodies for? My retort to that horrible man came to me hours and hours after. Cochon! I should have screamed at him. Pig! I hope there's not a next time, but if so, I hope I remember that French retort. What's French for as if? Or, you couldn't buy me, not with all the euros in the world. People have tried to buy me before, metaphorically, with gifts and favors, but never literally, until today. Out of all the firsts I dreamt of in Paris, this was not one of them.